Hello there, film lovers. Welcome to another thrilling installment of Tim and Tom's Film Nights. Today we have an absolute classic in store for you guys. It's 1994's critically acclaimed prison drama, The Shawshank Redemption. I must say, as someone who generally avoids anything remotely close to the genre of prison dramas, well, that's a rather bold statement to kick off our discussion tonight, isn't it? Timothy chuckles before responding.
Oh, Thomas dear, I was only joking. Prison dramas can be quite engaging if done right. And from what I have heard about this particular film, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves now, shall we? We still have a whole movie to watch and discuss. So, Thomas, before we dive into the plot, can you share with our viewers what drew you towards this particular film?
Well, Timothy dear, I must admit that it wasn't necessarily the plot itself that drew me towards this particular film. No, I'm only joking. Although, to be fair, I do have a soft spot for a good prison drama if done right. And, The Shawshank Redemption has garnered quite the reputation over the years. But, what truly piqued my interest in this particular film was its stellar cast and crew. You see, having worked alongside some of Hollywood's greatest talents myself, I simply couldn't resist the chance to witness these titans of cinema collaborating on such a powerful story. And speaking of the plot revolves around Andy Dufresne, played by the ever-talented and charismatic Tim Robbins, who finds himself wrongfully convicted of murdering his wife and her lover, sentenced to life in Shawshank State Penitentiary. He quickly discovers that survival isn't always about fighting, but rather adapting to the harsh reality of prison life. It's during one of these adjustment periods that he meets the eccentric Ellis Red Redding, played by the legendary Morgan Freeman, who becomes his unlikely ally and mentor within the walls of Shawshank. As they navigate through the complexities of prison life, Andy's sharp mind and resourcefulness soon catches the attention of the corrupt warden Samuel Norton, played by the enigmatic Bob Gunton. Seeing an opportunity to exploit his skills, Norton recruits Andy into a money laundering scheme that threatens to tear apart the very fabric of the prison system itself. But whom little does he know, Andy has ulterior motives of his own. So, Timothy dear, what are your thoughts on this intriguing plot?
Well, Thomas dear, I must say that your summary of the plot is quite thorough. However, I can't help but raise a few points of contention with your analysis. Firstly, I found it rather dubious how quickly Andy Dufresne was able to establish himself as an inmate with such extensive knowledge of the prison's inner workings and its various power dynamics. It's hard to believe that someone who supposedly spent their whole life working as a banker would have such a keen understanding of prison politics and criminal activities. Just like that. And secondly, I must say that I found the portrayal of the corrupt warden Norton somewhat cliche. While it's true that corruption within prison systems is sadly all too common, I felt as though the writers could have delved deeper into his motivations and backstory to make him more nuanced and complex rather than just a stereotypical embodiment of villainy. That said, despite my reservations about the plot, I must admit that the performances in this film are truly outstanding. Tim Robbins' portrayal of Andy Dufresne is both vulnerable and determined, evoking a range of emotions from empathy to suspicion throughout the film. And who could forget the legendary chemistry between him and Morgan Freeman's Red? Their banter and camaraderie on screen are truly captivating, making their unlikely friendship one of the highlights of the film. As for the supporting cast, each actor brings their top game to their respective roles, adding layers of authenticity and depth to the already gripping narrative. Thomas, I'm curious, did you have any specific favorite moments or scenes from The Shawshank Redemption that stood out to you? something related to the filmmaking process or an interesting behind-the-scenes tidbit that viewers might not know about?
Well, Timothy dear, I must say that your skepticism regarding the plot is understandable, but you cannot deny the impact that the Shawshank Redemption has had on the cinematic landscape. It's a tale of hope and resilience set against all odds, and it resonates with audiences worldwide. However, I must admit that there are some significant differences between Stephen King's original novel and the film adaptation directed by Frank Darabont. For starters, the timeline in the book is more condensed, while the movie takes its time to develop the characters and their relationships, which, in my humble opinion, only adds to the overall impact of the story. Furthermore, certain plot points are rearranged or even completely omitted in the film version. For instance, in the novel, the character of Brooks Hatlin doesn't exist, and Andy's plan for escape is quite different than how it plays out on screen. But despite these differences, both the book and the movie serve as powerful commentaries on the nature of redemption, the importance of friendship, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. So, Timothy dear, what do you think? Do you prefer the grittier, more graphic depiction of prison life found in King's novel, or the cinematic adaptation that delves deeper into the emotional journey of its characters? And lastly, if given the choice between Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins as your unlikely prison ally, who would you choose and why?
That's a fascinating question, Thomas. I think it really boils down to personal preference and what aspect of the story resonates most with each individual. While both the book and the movie have their merits, there is no denying that Frank Darabont's adaptation brings an emotional depth to the characters that was perhaps not as apparent in Stephen King's original work. The casting choices made by Darabont were nothing short of brilliant. Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins share an undeniable chemistry that elevates their characters from mere cellmates to beloved friends who navigate the harsh realities of prison life together. In terms of choosing between Andy Dufresne and Red as a prison ally, I believe it would depend on the circumstances. If one were seeking guidance or assistance in navigating the complex world of financial crimes and corruption, then undoubtedly Andy would be the better choice. His intelligence and resourcefulness are truly remarkable, and he proves time and again that even under the most dire conditions, hope can still exist. However, if one simply needed a friend to help them through their darkest moments, someone who could offer comfort, wisdom, and a sense of belonging, then Red would be the obvious choice. His years of experience within the prison system have made him a bit jaded at times, but his loyalty and compassion are unwavering. He will go to great lengths to protect those he cares about.
I couldn't agree more, Timothy dear. The casting choices in the Shawshank Redemption are nothing short of brilliant. Morgan Freeman's portrayal of Ellis Red Redding is nothing short of iconic. His character serves as the narrator and moral compass for the story, guiding us through the harsh realities of life in prison while maintaining a sense of hope and resilience that inspires those around him. On the other hand, Tim Robbins' portrayal of Andy Dufresne is equally impressive. He manages to convey both vulnerability and strength with ease, making it difficult not to root for his character despite the circumstances. Speaking of which, I must say that one of my favorite aspects of the Shawshank Redemption is how it subverts our expectations about redemption itself. Throughout the film, we see characters who are initially presented as villains or anti-heroes gradually reveal deeper layers of humanity and empathy. Warden Norton, for example, starts out as a ruthless tyrant, but eventually becomes consumed by his own greed and paranoia. Brooks Hatlin's character arc serves as a poignant reminder that even those who seem lost can find their way back to the light if given the chance. In terms of influence on cinema, The Shawshank Redemption has had an immense impact on films and television shows alike. Its themes of hope, resilience, friendship, and redemption continue to resonate with audiences worldwide indeed. It's not hard to see why this film has become such a beloved classic over the years. As for specific examples of films or TV shows that were influenced by the Shawshank Redemption, I would have to point towards shows like, Orange is the New Black and movies like The Green Mile as prime examples. Both explore similar themes while also adding their own unique twists on the prison drama genre.
That's an interesting point, Thomas. I too have noticed a resurgence in prison dramas following the Shawshank Redemption's success. And while some might argue that it has become a trope itself, when done well, these stories can still pack a powerful punch. Orange is the New Black, for example, not only delves into the harsh reality of life behind bars, but also explores issues such as race, gender, and class in a gripping manner. The show's complex characters, including the tough yet vulnerable protagonist Piper Chapman, played by actress Taylor Schilling, navigate their lives within the confines of a women's prison while confronting their own demons along the way. Similarly, films like The Green Mile also tackle themes of redemption and redemption from a unique perspective. Based on Stephen King's novel of the same name, The Green Mile follows the story of a gentle giant named John Coffey, played by the late great actor Michael Clarke Duncan, who possesses extraordinary healing powers but is wrongfully convicted of a brutal murder. Throughout his time on death row, Coffey's quiet strength and unwavering faith in the face of adversity serve as a stark contrast to the corruption and despair that permeate the prison walls. The film's masterful blend of suspense, drama, and even elements of supernatural horror ensures that it too has become an enduring classic in its own right. In conclusion, while there will always be debate over whether imitation is indeed the highest form of flattery, it cannot be denied that the Shawshank Redemption's profound impact on cinema and popular culture at large. Its themes of redemption, friendship, and resilience continue to resonate with audiences worldwide, inspiring countless films and television shows alike to delve deeper into the complexities of the human condition, even when faced with seemingly insurmountable odds.
Well said, Timothy. And speaking of enduring classics, it seems fitting to wrap up our discussion about the Shawshank Redemption by reflecting on its own enduring legacy. As we mentioned earlier, this film has had a profound impact on cinema and popular culture alike, inspiring countless imitations and homages while also standing the test of time as a timeless classic. It's a testament to the power of storytelling, the brilliance of Stephen King's writing, and the masterful direction of Frank Darabont that the Shawshank Redemption continues to resonate with audiences even after all these years. In conclusion, I would encourage everyone out there who hasn't yet had the pleasure of watching this masterpiece to do so without further ado. Whether it's your first time or 100th, The Shawshank Redemption remains an essential viewing experience that is sure to stir up emotions and provoke captivating conversations alike. So grab some popcorn, cozy up on the couch, and prepare yourself for a journey through darkness that ultimately shines a light on the transformative power of hope, friendship, and the human spirit. And remember, as Andy Dufresne so eloquently put it, hope is what keeps us alive.
Indeed it is, Thomas. And before we bid adieu to our loyal viewers and listeners for today, I would like to extend a heartfelt plea. Please do not hesitate to join the conversation by leaving your own thoughts, opinions, and even disagreements in the comments section below. We love hearing from you, our dear audience members, and your engagement is what truly makes this podcast thrive. So don't be shy, let loose with your own thoughts on the Shawshank Redemption prison dramas in general, or even share your own personal redemption stories that have touched your lives. And finally, remember to hit that magic button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family members who also appreciate a good debate, a riveting story. and of course, the transformative power of hope. Until next time, farewell, and don't forget, hope is what keeps us alive.